likes to live at flea markets because naturally he has lots of fleas.
Alright. I mean,
And
just natural.
since he's cheap and he likes crappy movies,
Sure.
the first place you go for crappy movies in bulk is a flea market. So he found all these movies, and they're probably all crappy. But we'll let him tell us about them because he's very proud of what he found.
Well, today was the first time we went out for Squidflicks and looked for movies to buy, and we found a great deal. It was this guy that was selling he has like 3,500 VHS titles, and he's needing to sell them, and the deal is you can get your first 12 movies for $10, and then every additional movie after that up to 10 is $1 each. So to start off, we picked up Transfers 2 with the return of Jack the Death. It's a full moon flick about a cop from the future that goes back and fixes these cyborgs from. It's kind of like a Terminator.
What the hell?
It's like a Terminator ripoff.
Sure to be gay. Sure to be gay.
Crappy.
The Dark Half, based off of a Stephen King novel that George Romero directed and starred Timothy Hutton as the main character. The Stepfather 2, starring Terry O'Quinn again as the evil stepfather, and this one was better than the original, I think, but it has nice cover art, as you can see. So,
Discard.
Elvira's Haunted Hills. I have not seen this. I just picked it up since it's Elvira, and figured it might be worth a watch. So, should be interesting. Psycho 4: The Beginning, the prequel to the original Hitchcock classic, which gets our friend Norman on a radio show and talks about his past, and it was an HBO film, and it was fairly decent, I thought. The Goalies 3, Goalies Go to College, is the third installment in the Charles...
Because we didn't have enough from the first two times.
The third installment of the Charles Band series of creature-type gremlin creatures.
Still not stoked about it.
The bigger question here to ask is, who even has a VHS player to watch these anymore?
The Last Slumber Party, part of the long-running Slumber Party series. Picked it up, haven't seen it, so it should be interesting to review. The Exorcist 2, The Heretic, the critically panned sequel to The Exorcist, and even though I'm not a big fan of it, I figured it'd still be worth getting. Stephen King's The Night Flyer. I think this was also an HBO film that was about a
Probably After Dark. So I'm watching.
that's about a vampire who flies by night on airplanes going after his victims. It's a decent one. The Psycho remake starring Vince Vaughn is our favorite motel slicer. This was a shot-for-shot remake, and it's very, well, many people don't like it, but for what it's worth, it's okay. Beyond Reanimator. Beyond Reanimator, Jeffrey Combs reprises his role as Dr. West and stirs up tons of bringing the dead back to life.
Hey, don't worry about it, guys. There's only 8 left.
Highway to Hell. This was a interesting one. It's an independent film from the early 90s, and I know Tim Gross is a big fan of it, so I decided I'd better pick it up while I could before he gets his hands on it.
Who?
Tim Gross.
His head is a butt crack.
Ragdoll. It's a full moon feature about a kind of like a old kind of voodoo doll, but it's a ragdoll, and it's it reminds me of blood dolls in the sense that they're evil and all that. It's a full moon flick, so we kind of know the gist of that. Pumpkinhead 2 Blood Wings, the sequel to the very well classic Pumpkinhead. Blood Wings is not as good, but for its value, it's nostalgic and a great piece of the 90s. Doll Man vs. Dynamic Toys, yet another full moon feature. This time meeting the Dynamic Toys and Doll Man together in a film, and it was really interesting, and I know it's a big fan favorite, so I decided to pick it up. The Omen 3, The Final Conflict.
The only decent find.
The third installment of the Omen series, which has Damien as, I believe, the President of the United States, and so it's kind of like the end of days, as it is, with the son of Satan becoming President of the United States. So that's a classic flick that has, I believe, Sam Neill playing the title role. Dead Time Stories, an anthology film from the 80s. Pretty much just your typical independent anthology film that has some pretty nice cover art, and I'm sure it'll be a good anthology addition to Squidflicks. Dario Argento's Demons 2, sequel to his classic Demons film, Italian horror film, and I believe this one was decent. Not really sure, but I'll have to check it out and review it for the site. And Summer Camp Nightmare. Picked this up because it looked interesting, about a summer camp that gets overtaken by a group of teenagers and violence erupts, and I'm not really sure if it's a rare find, but it's PG-13, so we can expect. I think that one got Jack the Janitor's interest here. And picked up Stephen King book Needful Things, about a shop owner that's the devil or a demon or some evil entity that infiltrated the pavilions of Castle Rock, and that the find for the first edition of Squidflicks Flea Market finds, films, and a book for $22, so that's a pretty good find, I think.
Don't let him tell you things that aren't true. These are door stops in the fires. These will fuel the fires of hell.